We had an old beat-up station wagon, and there were 4 kids, and when we were little, we were trained by her yelling at the top of her lungs in the hallway, "The last one in the car is a Republican." And we ran like hell for that car. I'd like to tell you a little story about 2 policies, because really it kind of sums the whole thing up. It's called The Tale of 2 Policies. It's about Medicare Part D, and it's about the Children's Health Insurance Plan. The Republicans proudly put forth Medicare D. An election was looming. To be specific, President Bush's re-election was looming. While it sounded like good policy and even better politics, the devil was in the details, because not only was there no means test, which means even the wealthiest Americans are getting prescriptions on your dime. Warren Buffett can get cheaper prescriptions on your dime. This year alone, it will cost the American taxpayer $52.2 billion. Now, when those concerns were raised initially, the Republicans said, "Don't worry." President Bush said, "Don't worry. It doesn't matter that it's not paid for. We'll put it on the credit card." Now, let's look at the Children's Health Insurance Plan and that program and what happened there. This is a program that covers poor children, means tested. Only children from poor families and very modest families can access this program. And it's paid for. And yet the president has vetoed it twice. What? The hypocrisy just takes your breath away. He vetoes and postures and calls us fiscally irresponsible and refuses to expand this program. Now, what's the lesson here? Why is Medicare D so good? It goes to wealthy people, it's not paid for, and the Children's Health Insurance Program so bad. There's only one difference. In one instance, the drug companies are making $4 billion a year in profit. And also because the drug companies and insurance companies have spent over $1 billion lobbying Washington in the last decade. That's what the Bush administration stands for. Taking care of the wealthy and the powerful at the very top, and making sure that those special interests feel very, very special. But their arrogance isn't limited to domestic policy. It's also reflected in the foreign policy. And there are a few better examples of that than the war in Iraq. This is a war born of politics and not necessity. They claim that the road to peace in the Middle East ran through Baghdad. But as our Harry Truman once said, there is nothing more foolish than to think war can be stopped by war. You don't prevent anything by war except peace. Folks, let's not get fooled again. John McCain is proposing to continue the failed foreign policies of this administration and wage war in Iraq for the next 100 years. We don't have to continue the top-down mindset in Washington that shuts the American people out. This election is our chance to turn the top-down mindset in Washington on its head. We close ourselves off with privacy fences, alarm systems, and back decks instead of sitting on the front porch for a neighborly chit-chat. We turn to microwaves and fast food instead of dinner table conversation and good old community potluck. Too often, we're focused on ourselves when we know in our hearts it's not about I am or I want or I should. It's about we are, we need, and even, yes, we can. We have a chance this year to choose a leader who will lead and inspire the American people to bring about real change from the bottom up. Someone who will follow in the proud tradition of Humphrey and Wellstone and create a robust middle class who will care about the least among us, who will look at the Americans as people and not poll numbers, who will turn the page on the old politics of division and distortion and destruction and unite all Americans around a common purpose. Americans, I mean Democrats, Republicans, Independents, are all ready for change in Washington. We know what we get with the Republican ticket, and it's just more of the same old junk. So it's up to Democrats, and we should feel inspired because history is being made right in front of us, so close we can almost reach out and touch it. To see the possibility of real change symbolized by the first woman and the first black man competing for our nomination lifts our nation. Is it just a mirage? Are we just being teased? No, it's real, and it's within our grasp. It is up to us. It is really up to us. This, then, is the test we must set for ourselves, not to march alone, but to march in such a way that others will wish to join us. To march in such a way that others will wish to join us. Those are incredible words from your own Hubert Humphrey. We should shout. We should work hard like the proud family farmers that have tilled the soils of our state for generations. Because if we can just turn our backs on the top-down politics of greed and incompetence, cynicism and apathy, and turn toward the bottom-up politics that puts government back into the hands of the American people, if we can reject the politics of fear and division and embrace the politics of hope and possibility, then we'll not only be appealing to the best of who we are as a nation, we'll be bringing about a much brighter day in this country we love.